The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Robert Saleh just announced no starters are playing in the Jets' final preseason game on Saturday against the Giants. The Jets held their joint practice yesterday and kicked their butts. We'll talk about that and much more with our guest, Andrew Fialkow, who joins us in his weekly spot. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season. Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is just after 8 a.m. here in Vegas. We will have content on the channel over the next couple days from the Circa Las Vegas Radio Row ahead of their contest weekend. The Jets head coach, Robert Saleh, just announced moments ago that none of the starters will play in the Jets' final game. Before we bring on Andrew Fialkow to react to that and much more, we first hear from the Jet head coach. This was Robert Saleh moments ago being asked about the plan for Saturday.
Plan for the last day. Is this a light day? Or?
Yeah, so today is like so we've kind of been simulating our in-season schedule. So yesterday was a Thursday. Today is a Friday. So it's kind of a fast Friday, red zone work, get them in, get them out.
Have you told the players your plan for Saturday? And if so, can you share it with us?
Yeah, it's going to be consistent with what we've done the first two games.
So Adrian and Peasley will start.
Yeah, so Adrian will take the first half this week, and Peasley will take the second half.
No Aaron Rodgers, so his official return to the NFL will be on Monday Night Football against the San Francisco 49ers. Joining us right now in his weekly spot is Jet X Analyst and film guru. Ladies and gentlemen, we say good morning to Andrew Fialkow. What's up, Andrew?
How are you doing, Jake?
Hanging in, man. Hanging in. Don't have the Vegas flu just yet. So I'm glad we could make this happen. I know you were out there yesterday, so we'll definitely get into some of your takeaways from watching the joint practice in person. But we'll start with what Saleh just said there that we played. Jets sitting all their starters against the Giants. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this was the plan all along. I think some people were saying, like, oh, it was because of the practice yesterday. Maybe that made him feel a little bit better about it. And yeah, maybe if they had a really poor practice yesterday, he would have had Rodgers play a couple of drives. I think this was probably the plan, though, all along. I don't think it's so necessary. And I think, honestly, Rodgers' interview from a couple of days ago is pretty telling. He was kind of insinuating that preseason doesn't matter, and no matter what they call in the preseason, it's going to be pretty basic stuff among the offensive scheme. So it's not going to be anything nuanced because a lot of teams don't want to give stuff away in the preseason. He honestly made a good point even about the joint practice. He was like, if the Giants have someone on their staff that's friends with someone on the Niners staff, or we're playing the Titans week 2, so maybe someone that's on the Titans staff week 2, they're not going to show much in the joint practice, and they weren't going to show a ton in the preseason anyway offensively. And I think we ran the basic stuff that we run in our offense yesterday, and it looked really, really good. Rodgers, in my eyes, and from what I've read from the practices I wasn't at, that was the best practice I've seen him. The offensive line was unbelievable yesterday, and I think the Giants pride themselves on a good defensive line. They have Dexter Lawrence, who's a top 3 D tackle in the NFL. They just signed Brian Burns. They have Kayvon Thibodeau, and really, like I wanted to mention that quickly that the O-line was absolutely incredible yesterday. The pockets that Rodgers had and the timing that they allowed the offense to run in was really good to see. So I think, honestly, though, that everything that Saleh wanted to see, he saw yesterday, and it's against a different opponent, so it's good to see. I'm not surprised. I would have liked to see Rodgers get a little bit of playing time at some point. I do understand the reasoning not to, but I don't think it's a big deal one way or the other. I think yesterday is definitely an encouraging sign, though, for the Jets.
Yeah, the way I look at it is once you saw that yesterday that they had a 70-play workload planned, it just felt like it was obvious given the fact the day before they basically sat Rodgers, Mosley. It was a veteran rest day, very light day of practice. They treated the joint practice like that was their final tune-up. And even in the clip we played before I brought you on from the head coach, he's basically saying, well, yesterday was like their game day Thursday. Today's like their game day Friday in regards to the practice load. So I'm not surprised. To me, if Aaron had went to Robert Saleh and said, I want to play, I think he would have been out there. I think Aaron's cool with this, which is why I'm on board with it. To me, I was whatever the quarterback wanted to do. I don't need to see the Jets play their starters. They've gotten a lot of work this summer based on all accounts. So I'm fine with that. My preference, I thought Aaron was going to be the one who wanted to play. But if he's cool with not playing, then I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm outraged over the Jets making a decision that a lot of teams in recent years have done.
Right. And another little nugget from Rodgers talking to the media a couple of days ago, someone asked me, they were like, is the last thing you need to feel 100% about yourself is to get hit? And he kind of said, yeah. But then I was thinking about it. He's been in the NFL for so long. He's going to get hit and it's going to feel normal again. It's not like this is a rookie coming off an injury where he's only played 4 snaps in his entire career. No, this is a veteran, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Hopefully he doesn't get hit a lot week 1 or any time during the season, but he'll get hit once and then he'll get back to feeling like into that rhythm. And look, I'm not really worried about it. I don't think it's a headline in a sense of like a worry for Jet fans. They're like, oh, he's not playing because they're worried he's going to get hurt. That's just not that's not what the case is here. And like you said, Saleh did just say in his interview that they're kind of on this schedule as if it's for week 1 or for like a game day week. And I think they're prepared. And I think, like all Jet fans, we're just ready for it to be here. It's in 2.5 weeks. It feels like it should be a lot sooner than that. But look, we're ready. We're ready to go. And that offense looked very, very ready to go yesterday.
We will get into that. Now, normally when Andrew comes on, people start roasting Andrew about the fact that, school is starting, 6th grade is right around the corner. I'm reading the comments here, man, and I am getting roasted. Dan writes in, Jake looks like a zombie. He does not do mornings. Even when he did Boy Green Daily, he was exhausted. Jake, but are you wearing pants? I am wearing pants, Dan. And I'm not a morning person. This show starting at 8 a.m. local was not easy after a night out in Las Vegas, but we power on, baby. I got things to do today, all right? I mean, we had to get Fialkow on early. We needed his expertise. Gonzo writes in, when we were in Vegas, Liquid IV was on the menu this morning. I could tell you, I already know what I had for breakfast. Promo code Jake Asman when you get your Liquid IV. Support the sponsor. My goodness. Dom writes in, shout out to Dom. We sent him tickets to enjoy the Jet Giant practice yesterday in person. He goes, I love Las Vegas, Jake. I can smell the Henny through the screen. Love you, Dom. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. Let's get to the joint practice here. I'm just going to play one of the plays right now because this, once again, folks, is not safe for work. If there's children around, make sure they can't see the screen. This is what we like to call jet porn. Fialkow, you were watching this in person. Everything about this play gets me so excited, whether it's Tyron Smith, shadow realming, Brian Burns at the beginning, Garrett just breaking free, Rodgers off balance, throwing a 70-yard heave in stride, then jumping into Morgan Moses there. I mean, everything about this play was sick. This was the first of many Garrett Wilson big-time plays between him and Rodgers. Your big takeaways from yesterday was what?
Man, like I want to temper my expectations. I really, really do. Watching that play in person, I actually got chills. Like I was like, oh man, like it was just a perfect play. And then rewatching it, Tyron Smith doing his classic snatch trap move. So he basically just gets inside the shoulder pads of the player, and it's Brian Burns there, and then just like traps him to the ground. And you see the pocket Rodgers had. Yeah, he didn't even need a fadeaway. I don't think he had any pressure from his right, but a little bit of a fadeaway throw, flat footed, and just dropped it in the bucket. I mean, Garrett was cooking whoever was on him yesterday, whether it was Banks, McLeod. I know the Giants secondary isn't great, but that's what you want to see from a guy like Garrett Wilson. I think he was 6 for 7 on targets. One play he had a little drop because he turned his head to go upfield. But look, that play is a good example because it looks simple maybe to the naked eye, but the ball tracking from Garrett, the ability for Rodgers to, like you said, throw that ball 50, 55 yards and just drop it into him in stride. To see where they've gotten and the amount of chemistry they've built, it's such an encouraging sign for the Jets. And like we said last year, it was a big issue. The offensive line was not great. We've obviously invested in it and revamped it fully. And I mean, look, having a guy like Tyron Smith healthy, it's going to be imperative for the Jets. That's a no-brainer. But I think it's also encouraging that Olu's played right tackle now in the last preseason game. He's ready to come in for Moses or Tyron Smith. I think if either of them were to go down at any point, I think Olu is going to get called, whether it's right tackle or left tackle, over Max Mitchell and over Carter Warren. So I'm excited that Olu has some experience and has reps at both positions now. But look, the Rodgers-Garrett connection, it's really, really something that's blossoming. And, I mean, again, I've said this time and time again, the sky is truly the limit for Garrett this year. Obviously, the crowd was going insane. I loved Rodgers putting the crown on Garrett there, and then Garrett was still talking to Hackett about something. But just a great, great rep. And when you see Rodgers throw the ball in the air, like, damn, maybe it gets incomplete because it's a low probability of that ball getting completed. It's a hard pass from Rodgers, and it's a hard ball to catch from Garrett. You need to have separation. You need to track the ball.
You got the crowd going crazy. Rodgers from the crowd on him there. Unreal.
I mean, yeah. I said it. All the vibes were there. That was just one play, but Garrett was cooking the entire day. Rodgers showed really good mobility the entire day. This looks like it was the 2-minute drive, which they got down the field, and it was the first time for the Jet fans to see the Giants offense, and they went 4 and out. So it's not like every offense was like playing so well. This play right, they just popped up. I have no idea how it was almost completed, but then he hit Garrett again. This play, I think this is is this the play?
Yep.
Yeah, the corner is like fully on top of the route. So like Garrett had like no room or separation, and he still tracked the ball. And from our vantage point, it looked like he dragged his feet, but the ref called him out. But we scored a touchdown in the 2-minute drill. It wasn't the prior practices I've been to. We only got field goals. We got down. Rodgers spiked it here. Oh no, he fake spiked it actually, and then threw it to Lazard, which was cool. And then I don't know if it was this play or the play after, but Rodgers got through all his progressions here. It was a good pocket. That was the next play. Okay. That was okay. That was the tipped ball interception, but it was holding on the defense. And then I think the next play, Rodgers really did a good job getting through all his progressions, buying time in the pocket, and then great throw to Lazard for the touchdown. Lazard had one bad drop yesterday, but besides that, it was a good day for Lazard as well. And then the Jets were great on defense here. It was a 4 and out. DJ Reed had 2 pass breakups. I think Neighbors had one bad drop where he was open. It might have been this play, but from what I heard,
this one, the bomb down the sideline.
Yeah, let's see.
Yep, it was this play.
Yeah, I mean, tough to track the ball downfield. Like Neighbors is awesome, and we could see that. Garrett makes that play 9 times out of 10. Neighbors probably does as well, but he dropped it there. And then think DJ, I know on fourth down had a really nice pass breakup. I don't know if maybe this play as well, but the Giants
back to back. Yeah.
Giants went 4 and out. Oh yeah, this was the out of bounds one. Great job by DJ to stay on it and push him out of bounds. He only got 1 foot down. And then this was a really nice pass breakup from DJ, and Michael Carter was hype. I mean, the whole defense was really hype. And then you got Sauce obviously waving goodbye to them, which I thought was fun. And then the funniest part about that was the Giants went 4 and out on their 2-minute drive. Then Tyrod comes in. I don't know if it was the first play or the second play, hits Brownlee on like a 55-yard touchdown. And then Sauce was waving away to them again. I think Rodgers just scrambled here. Yeah.
So I'm going to play it from the top, Andrew. This is just courtesy of our guy, Ryan from Jets Talk. He has every snap from the starters, offensively and defensively. So, I mean, just in real time, as we're kind of talking about what happened yesterday, the Jets started with the red zone period here. They ultimately score on this drive here a couple plays from now, but this was their first drive of the day. We already showed you the moment of practice yesterday, Rodgers to Garrett, but it felt like yesterday, and someone who was there, who's been to a lot of these, texted me, it's the best you've seen the Jets look at a practice since 2010. So it's like this team was humming yesterday offensively.
Right, because I think most Jet fans came from the Monday practice where it was like terrible day for the offense, like tons of incompletions. That was a really nice play. It probably wouldn't have been a sack, but they don't call it, obviously. And then Rodgers bought time, found Braylon Allen in the end zone. Let's see what this one was. Yeah, that
Ruckert.
was
he dropped a touchdown.
Tough drop from Ruckert. Like Rodgers plays with such good timing and accuracy that the ball was on him probably too quick. Ruckert felt, but again, got to make that catch if you're Ruckert. He bounced back and had a couple nice catches to end practice. Really, the only tough plays I felt were 1 Lazard's drop, 2 Garrett's drop, and then Ruckert's drop. So there were 3 drops, and besides that, the ball barely hit the ground. So, like I said when I was tweeting live yesterday, it really felt like it was Rodgers' best practice. Gibson had a really nice contested catch in the beginning of practice in 7-on-7s. Obviously, what I saw I saw it late. I don't know if they have that in this clip. This was so good from this was one of my favorite.
Look at Brees.
Yeah.
Dude, Brees goes over to Isaiah Simmons to basically check his ankles to make sure they didn't fall off after he crossed them up. Watch, I'll play it back, everyone watching. Hit the like button if you're tuned in, by the way. We're giving you Jet porn for free this morning, thanks to Ryan from Jets Talk. Look at this. So, By the way, Brees is going to be unreal as a target in the red zone as we've seen this summer. But, like, just crazy here. I mean, they were cooking, man. Brees was quite the weapon yesterday.
Yeah. He's going to be a great weapon out of the backfield. And I was honestly surprised. I thought Isaiah Simmons was going to be like really upset about that because obviously you don't want to get scored on and then have the opponent touching your ankles to see if they're still intact. But it didn't seem like he was like so upset about it. That was such a great play, and like chemistry between Rodgers and Brees looked great. Brees out of the backfield, like you said, he's going to cause so many mismatches. This was the Lazard drop. Really tough drop. Just right over the middle. But besides that, it was really good. I wonder if this was the play that I saw on Twitter for the second time. Someone said, well, it was a no-look pass to Garrett. Garrett obviously uncovered.
I think that's why Garrett got so open, right? I think like the Jets had like a field view of it. Rodgers no-looked, and I think that's why Garrett – I'm going to play it back for people to say, this is a no-looker here, and I think that's why Garrett got so wide open here. Let me run it back. Hold on. Because you're right. Like, it's like, how did Garrett escape this? We'll watch the drop by Lazard one more time, and then next play here, you'll see it.
Yeah, so Rodgers did a good job like extending the pocket. Morgan Moses did a good job pass blocking. And it was a no-look pass. I think Garrett was shocked when he turned around that he was that open. But I agree with you. I think that Rodgers looking the completely other way caused the defense to be like, oh, he's not throwing it here. And then Garrett was wide open, and he walked in for the touchdown. Rodgers was upset a few times during practice yesterday, but not a ton. I think he was really happy. This is a good like underthrow to Lazard. Lazard looked a little quicker than I thought yesterday. I actually liked how he looked speed-wise, which I don't usually say or like feel about him. So I thought that was good. The run game looked good. Obviously, it's hard when they're just like tapping them, so we can't really tell when they get tackled. I think Isaiah Davis bursted through the hole here really well. He showed good burst. Obviously, the run game is going to be really important for the Jets. This was a check down, incomplete. Yeah. But yeah, it was just a really great practice, and that was one of my favorite plays of the day right there. Brees had a crazy blitz pickup that play. He actually like got depleted himself. He hit the ground, but
right there.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at that.
Really great job, like just picking up the linebacker on the blitz, and then Garrett settles over the middle. Good timing with Rodgers again. I mean, Garrett was so good yesterday. It was unbelievable. Let's see what else. Let's see what this one was. Yep, good block on the outside from Lazard there too. Again, it's very hard to like evaluate the run game when they're just playing two-hand touch with the runs, but it looked good to me. The line looked really good. That was okay. So that was a offsides on them, but it looked like a false start to my naked eye. But we got 5 yards, and then I think, oh yeah, great conversion up the seam to Rucker. Really good timing on that one again. I mean, everyone looks in good chemistry with Rodgers that's been playing. I hope that Mike Williams gets out there next week, but Rucker and Rodgers have good chemistry. Conklin and Rodgers have developed really good chemistry. Garrett and Rodgers obviously are very in sync at this point of camp. Gibson there on this little hot route. Rodgers was really happy about that. I saw them talking right after it. That was a great one-handed catch from Lazard, surprisingly, on just like a little hot screen route.
This is drive the field right here. These plays.
Yeah, they were doing a little short intermediate stuff there. That good cuts by Gibson. That's kind of a spot. That's a spot I'd like Malachi Corley in, honestly. Maybe it's third. No, it's not third down. Yep, great hole there. Oh, this is Braylon, man. I mean, Braylon trucked the safety there, and like it went viral. But every time he touches the ball, it's like, I think this was Garrett's drop. Yep, that was just a good throw from Rodgers, and Garrett just looked upfield. That was really the only time they weren't in sync yesterday. But Braylon, like it's really hard to not get excited about him because he's bull rushing over people. Here's the big Garrett bomb.
Crowd going crazy.
Yeah. The crowd went nuts for that.
Crown him, AR. Crown him. Let's go. Just unreal. I mean, Garrett just catches everything, man. He had the one drop that we just showed, and everything else is just like he's a vacuum.
Yeah, I feel like people like if there's one knock on Garrett, it was his like ball security. He had a couple weird fumbles his rookie year, and then he's a couple weird just like focused drops. But it seems like he's kind of gotten over that, like because we know how good of hands he has. He has unbelievable hands. There's just a couple weird drops he's had, but it seems like he's really dialed in this training camp. And I mean, I can imagine he's really excited to finally be with a real quarterback. And he's making the most of it. He's going to be, again, I don't see how he doesn't have 1,300 to 1,500 receiving yards this year. I think that goes for Brees too. I think Brees is going to have a huge year out of the backfield. I think there are a lot of guys that are going to really benefit. Like maybe talking fantasy football wise, if anyone's interested, like I don't see like how Conklin doesn't have a huge year. I think once Mike Williams really gets into the swing of things, he's going to be a huge factor for the Jets. But Brees and Garrett are going to be really good in the receiving game. I think Gibson's going to be good in the receiving game, honestly, to start the year. And it's just what I've been saying all of camp. It's about them building this chemistry. And yesterday was on full display against another defense. They just looked really in sync with Rodgers. And that's what it takes. It takes time because Rodgers was complaining so much in 2022 because he had all these rookie receivers and no one was on the same page as him. And people are like, oh, he had a really down year. I saw Seth Walder, who's on ESPN, posted like why I'm bullish about the Jets. Like Rodgers QBR in 2022 is 26th in the NFL. Well, context is always key in football. If it was that simple, then like everyone would know everything. I don't know everything. So it's not like that. He had a really bad thumb injury that year. He was dealing with all rookie receivers. It was his first year without Devontae Adams. And I still thought he played pretty decent. They had one game to win to make the playoffs. So I'm not bullish on him. I watched him yesterday. And again, just the more they build this chemistry and they get the timing down and they get the nuances of every route down, the sky's the limit for this offense. And really, I'm so excited. I just cannot wait for September 9th.
A rare in-division trade. Commanders are sending former first-round pick Jahan Dotson and a fifth-round pick to the Eagles in exchange for a 2025 third-round pick and 2 seventh-round picks. So Dotson out of Washington and staying in the division to the Eagles. The Eagles just load up on receivers, man. They're stacked.
I love that trade for the Eagles. Wow, that's a great receiver, wide receiver 3 for them. That's really cool.
If you're tuned in live right now and you have a question for Andrew Fialkow, make sure you submit it in the comments section. We'll open up the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline and take some calls. Before we do any of that, and there's already a super chat from, I believe, Here from the Memes that we're going to get to in a second. Andrew, earlier this week, you appeared as a guest on the Connor Long program, our favorite 13-year-old Jet fan. And many people were wondering why Connor Long chose a picture that appeared to make you look like you got murdered in the shower in the show Psycho. What were your thoughts?
Oh, my God. Well, Gator is just the best. I didn't see that in the Discord. Oh, that's unreal. Yeah, he put me in black and white. Damn, I didn't see that. But that is my headshot for Jet X Factor. Oh, that's great. Oh, man.
A lot of people were wondering too, Andrew. Do you and Connor sit at the same lunch table at middle school?
You know, now that we're close friends, I think we're gonna integrate friend groups and probably sit at the same table. But you know, I saw Connor at camp yesterday. Pretty sure he was being followed around by like a Jets media guy, and they're doing something on Connor. He's gonna become big. I think we all can see it coming because like 13 years old, already has 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But he texted me. He was like, yeah, I'm doing like, let's see what he said. He said something like CBS Sports is following me around at camp tomorrow. I was like, oh, wow.
Yes. I could tell you, Steve Overmeyer of Channel 2 reached out to me about 2 weeks ago, wants to do a story on Connor. Newsday, Jamie Stewart's doing a story too. So Connor's becoming a celebrity before our eyes.
Right. And that Rich Eisen call, everyone's I'm reading the comments, like, please make him like a once a week guest, like all this stuff. So yeah, Connor was getting followed around by media credentialed people yesterday. And he came up to me and then the media credentialed guy was like, this guy knows everyone. I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
I love it. Comments, questions, super chats for Andrew. We're seeking channel memberships. Your channel memberships, if you gift them, make sure you turn on gift receipts so you could be the beneficiary of someone gifting you your membership. Here for the Memes checks in. I don't know how to feel about AR not playing. Maybe it's me selfishly wanting to see him play, but NFL debut against the Niners on Monday Night Football after 1.5 years worries me. Well, I mean, it's a year. It's not 1.5 years. Look, here's the bottom line. I think if Aaron wanted to play, he'd play. I think he's clearly comfortable with the workload he's gotten this summer. Let's not forget, too, I know people like poo-poo it, but this guy practiced in December last year, too, on the scout team. So he's played. Like, he to us, his entire season was lost. To him as a player, he got reps at the end of last year. He went to everything during the offseason program besides the 2 minicamp days. He's been at everything, obviously, this summer. He's looked great this summer. If he thinks he's ready to go, and he knows his body.
Right. And he even said in the presser from a couple of days ago, he's like, this has been the hardest training camp I've had in a long time. And I think that was very strategical and purposeful from Saleh. I think that he wanted the offense to get a certain amount of reps, and they got those reps. And I think that tells why he's not playing in the preseason. Obviously, playing in a real game is different than just taking practice reps. But I think that, like you said, if Rodgers really felt like he needed to play, he would have went to Saleh and said, hey, I want to get a drive in. I don't think he thinks it's worth it. And it's preseason football. It's so irrelevant. Like, let's just trust Rodgers here, and he's going to be fine for week 1.
100%. Let's see. Questions for Andrew. Matt from L5 writes in. Andrew, do you see a big jump from Jeremy Ruckert this year? Seems like he's been getting a lot of looks recently.
I think he's going to have a semi jump. I think he's going to be used a lot in the 2 tight end sets. So I think he'll be on the field with Conklin a good amount. And I think if Conklin were to miss time, I think Ruckert could step in pretty seamlessly at this point. Ruckert's just got to focus on like his hands. I think as long as he's good catching the football, I think that's like a really basic thing to say. But really in this offense, the tight end's asked to block and then make some catches in the flats and get some yards after the catch. And then the up the seam routes, which Conklin has Ruckert showed yesterday, he's pretty good at. It's just going to be like if he can show that he has really good hands, which out of college I think was one of the things that we liked about him and why we drafted him. He's not a great yards after the catch guy, but again, in this offense, it's not that important. He's really going to be a safety valve like Conklin will be, and then up the seam in those contested catch areas, we need to see if he's one of those guys that can make plays. But yeah, he'll be on the field a good amount this year, so there'll be a ton of opportunities for him.
I have a question for Andrew. How badly do you think Sauce Gardner wanted to say Daniel Jones stinks in this moment? Yeah,
he stinks.
That's what he wanted to say. I mean, let's be real. I mean, but it's funny because the Jets were in the spot with Zach and Boyle and Simeon last year going up against teams, and now finally it's like, yeah, it ain't so fun when the rabbit's got the gun now, baby.
He stinks.
Yeah, I mean, I saw from like some of the beat reporters that were covering over there, they said that he was 9 for 10, Daniel Jones, but none of the passes were over 10 yards. So I feel like Sauce was probably over there a bit bored and probably saw their offense, and he's like, well, I've been watching the Jets offense the entire training camp, and we've been pushing the ball downfield on them a ton. So it was probably quite an uneventful training camp day for Sauce. Yeah, he actually tweeted, he's like, I guess this is how memes get created, because he was like, I don't know what to say. And then like they just clipped that and like made a meme out of it. But I think he said what he said without saying anything.
Oregon Jets writes in, these guys are great together. I also love when Green Bean is on. Oregon Jets, thank you for tuning in. Jet Life Green says, caught another Jake Asman live. What a time to be alive. All right, Jet Life Green. I noticed you don't have a green badge next to your name. So here's what we're going to do. You're today's honorary, let's get him a membership contestant. If you're the listener out there who gifts Jet Life Green a channel membership, you will receive an item from the Jake Asman merch store. Get your merch at jakeasman.com. Shout out to everyone out there, including Andrew Fialkow, who supports the show by getting themselves some merch. So Jet Life, we're coming through for you. Tom Ace says, Jake, don't forget to introduce Andrew Fialkow as Little League World Series MVP. Andrew, my apologies. I forgot to include that in your introduction.
Funny enough, my cousin's actually playing in the Little League World Series, but not under Fialkow. It's under my mom's maiden name. So I'm sure if people saw that, they would have been like, oh, here he is. But thank God that he's under a different name.
Were they on the Staten Island team that was in the Little League World Series?
Yeah. People can look him up. I think it's Chris Giacchio is his name. They're still fighting to make the team. I mean, to make the tournament or whatever. But yeah,
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, Plumpy Boy is giving it his best shot at gifting a membership, and the recipient is
free stuff.
A. Bouchard Jr., the recipient of the channel membership. So Plumpy, thank you for paying it forward. Also, I'm about 40 followers away on Twitter from 20,000. I did a giveaway yesterday. I announced during the show. If you're one of the next 40 people to follow me at Jake Asman on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, your name is automatically entered to win an item from the Jake Asman merch store. So please follow me on Twitter and help me get to 20,000 followers there. All right, let's open up the Gustbuster hotline, take some calls with Andrew. Before we say goodbye to him this morning, we say good morning to Keith Best, who's first up today. Hello, Keith.
Thanks, Jake. Andrew, always great job. I was watching. I want to start with this. When the truck turns off in the parking lot, I go to my meditation thing on Thursdays at 12. I finished chemo this morning. I'm up in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. It's beautiful outside. But I wore Aaron Rodgers' jersey to church with my goddad on Sunday, and so many people came up to me and says, he looks pretty good this year. And I did communion, and I prayed that he stayed healthy. On the Just One Drive this morning in the podcast, they talked about Rodgers' velocity, and watching the 65-yard touchdown to Wilson, awesome. I mean, everybody played well. They dominated on the offense and they dominated on the defense. The drop passes, well, the one thing I don't want to see from last year is flags. When we're offsides, or the guy we had at left guard last year, he had so many penalties against him. I forget his last name started with a B, but we got to make an emoji for Tyron Smith. It says Tyron Smith, a picture of him, the neutralizer. I felt like that was a word that was brought up on the Jets podcast this morning, that he neutralized every time he was out there. He just neutralized. And Rodgers had such a pocket to be able to throw the ball, And then there's one more point that I want to bring up. Gardner has taken on the leadership and taken those huddles like Mosley does before the game and cheers everybody up before they say 1, 2, 3 Jets. Gardner, yesterday, I saw the videos of him gathering up the whole group to say, you got to step up. You got to get to the next level. You got to be perfect, but you got to give everything 110%. And when you see that type of role, especially, Mosley does it. Mosley usually does it before the game. That hype I live with. It's absolutely awesome. I got to disappear now, but I have to go inside. I have a meditation meeting, but great to come on, Jake. Great that you call me. Are you on this afternoon with, I got your t-shirt on, by the way. I got the Jake Asman t-shirt on.
Love it, Keith. Love it.
But, I shop at a store called Publix. Everybody looks at me and says, I've heard of that guy. I said, yeah, I'm on I said, we go here and go here, and you can sign on. So there's a lot of Jets fans down here, but they stay pretty silent. I live in Miami. Dolphins territory, and I get sloshed a lot, but that's okay. It's all fine. We're gonna beat the crap out of them, I hope. And I can't wait to see everybody on December, 8th or 9th for the Sunday night game at Miami. And I'm just very blessed. I'm trying to get my health back. It's been a challenge. It's been a rough road, but life goes on. I said this on the show a couple of weeks ago. You either blow up when you had Robbie on, you either blow up or you move forward. And I think that's everybody that's going through something in their life that is affecting them, that affects everything around them. But this is my inspiration to be able to come on here, chat a little bit. You give me some time to be able to talk. I love it. I love everybody on here. I get great comments. I love everybody that's on here. Bobby starts crying when he hears me. That makes me. It makes you laugh, and the laughter is great medicine. Laughter is absolutely great medicine. So anyway, I'm going to sign off. I have to go, but great for having me on. Thanks, Andrew. You're always great.
Keith, thank you, man. We love Keith Best and his positivity. Love him rocking the Jake Asman Show t-shirt as well. So appreciate it, Keith. One thing he did bring up, I don't know if you saw the One Jets Drive episode the Jets put out the other day, but they had basically a scene in there where the Jets were not playing up to their standards at the beginning of the joint practice against Carolina last week. And it was Sauce pulling the entire defense over and talking to them, saying everyone, including himself, has to play better. They have a higher standard. And that to me was like, the sign of like a player in year 3 who knows he's one of the best, if not the best in the league at his position, taking on that leadership role. And I think this year, the next step for the Jets is to put the C on Sauce and put it on Garrett Wilson as they kind of continue their development into being, leaders on this team, because Aaron's not going to be here forever. CJ Mosley's probably here this year and next year. Like, you need the leaders in the pipeline beyond this season. And those are two of the guys who should be Jets their entire careers.
Yeah, you make a good point. Obviously, Rodgers not here for the long term. And he said something in his interview the other day. He was like, I just love how he kind of challenged Garrett, Brees, and Sauce. He said, like, earlier in the year to become better leaders. And he said that they've really taken that challenge and made the most of it. Obviously, I think we have just like the perfect mix of veterans and young veterans like Sauce, Brees, and Garrett, who have been here now for a bit, that it's time for them to be the voice for the younger players. And then we have guys like Rodgers and Mosley and Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses who show that veteran presence. I really think there's a perfect mix. But like you said, I think it's time for Sauce to be a captain. I think Garrett should definitely be a captain. I think they give four C's out, or maybe 5.
There's no rule for it. I know last year they had Rodgers, Quinnen, or Rodgers, CJ, Hardy, and then Quinnen was elevated to captain once Rodgers was down for the year. They added a new captain, but I could see them adding both Sauce and Garrett to a captain role for sure.
Yeah, I think honestly, someone we haven't spoken about at all in the offseason is Quinnen Williams, which is interesting because he's a top 3 defensive tackle in the NFL. I think he'll be a captain. Again, it's hard to not have Quinnen, CJ, and Rodgers as your captains, but you'd love to get either Sauce or Garrett in there as well.
Some super chats coming in, then we'll get back to your calls. John wants to know, surprise impact player for you, Andrew, on each side of the ball.
Ooh. I think defensively, I'm between either Chuck Clark and Jamie Sherwood. I think Chuck Clark's going to have a big year. I think Chuck Clark's going to be a really good player for us. I think he's another guy that's just not spoken about a ton. I also think that Takk McKinley could be a really good player for us if this Hassan Reddick situation continues the way it is. He's going to definitely make the team, and we rotate D linemen like no other. So I think he'll be an impact player. And then offensively, I really think Xavier Gibson's going to step up this year. I think Malachi's going to take a bit of time to get integrated into the offense, learn the playbook, get some chemistry with Rodgers. I think Gibson showed it in practice yesterday to a couple of really good plays that I liked. And I think that the slot position in this offense, whether it's not going to be Xavier the whole time, they're going to move Garrett around a ton. But I think Gibson has a chance to be really, really good in this offense. And I mean by that, give us 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like that would be a great year for Gibson. So I think he's more than capable of that.
I like the Gibson call because I do think he's going to have a bigger role than a lot of people realize just based on what we've seen this summer. Allison Tuckwav checks in. Allison, where have you been, baby? Yeah. Like a dummy, you could hit him and hit him. He'll just get back up, and I got dummy and a crash car. You know those. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Allison, that is a tremendous point out of you. Andrew, your thoughts?
Damn, I wish I knew. I kind of understand what she's saying, but I don't know.
You sound like Sauce right now. Yesterday, being asked about the Daniel Jones.
I'm just gonna pull a Sauce here, and I'm just here. I'm just gonna say I'm here so I don't get fined. I don't know how to comment on that.
Allison, I just want you to know for the record, I completely agree with everything you wrote right there. Let's get to more of your calls. Ladies and gentlemen, we say good morning to David, who's up next. Hello, David.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? How you doing, Coach Fialkow?
How you doing?
I'm just going to say that I'm rocking a little of the merch here.
There we go.
All right.
Hey.
I'm glad Carly can see this. First to order, last to get. All right, now to Jets football. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you did order to Israel. That might have something to do with the delay, but that is awesome.
I can't say anything bad about my local post office, but then again, I can't say anything good either. So you said that Gibson has a role in the offense. Does that mean that they will no longer have him doing kick returns and punt returns because they can't sacrifice his role in the offense?
No, I don't think so. And I think with the kick returns and punt returns now, there'll be less injuries because of the new format. I think Gibson's still going to be back there with Corley, back there with Davis maybe, but I think Gibson's a good enough kick returner that he'll be used as a guy in the 3 receiver sets and also as a kick returner for the team.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a role on special teams, and he'll be their starting slot. And Corley will be integrated more as the year goes on.
Right.
Some super chats here. Mr. Reality says, "Reality, Tack was never an impact anywhere." Yeah, neither was Solomon Thomas, and then the Jets brought him in and got the most out of him. Quentin Jefferson wasn't thought to be anything special. The Jets turned him into a guy who got 6.5 sacks last year. Like, McKinley's looked good this summer. He's in a really good scheme. JFM never did anything anywhere till the Jets got him. Bryce Huff was a UDFA. Like, they have a history of finding guys on that defensive line and getting the most out of them. So I think Tack has earned a spot on this team based on his play this summer. And maybe he could be a nice rotational piece for this defensive line. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, we have to remember, like, I don't even know. I kind of get what he means here, but we have 8 guys on the defensive line that are going to be asked to play at all points of the game. Like, that's just how Saleh's defense works. We rotate guys in and out like crazy. We lost JFM. We lost Bryce Huff. Quinn Jefferson had 7 sacks for us last year. He was a diamond in the rough. There's a lot of places that need to be filled. And how do we do it? We were asking Will McDonald to take another step. We're hoping that Hassan Reddick would take the Huff spot and then be even better because he could play all 3 downs, but he's not here. So reality is we kind of need Tack McKinley at this point to be a good guy as a rotational pass rusher and rotational against the run. That's just how it is. I mean, if Hassan Reddick was here, yeah, maybe he would be playing a little less snaps. I see Tack McKinley playing 15 to 20 impactful snaps a game right now. So reality is we kind of need him. Our defensive line depth at the moment is not great.
Is your name actually Mr. Reality? Mr. Reality, is that a government name? These are the things I ponder. Gonzo writes in, "I met Andrew at Jet practice while he was online for the bounce house. Really nice guy."
I cannot confirm or deny those allegations.
Now, you met listener Tony yesterday, right? At practice?
Yeah, really nice guy. He was with his dad. I don't know if I did tell him I was because we had tentatively planned that I was coming on after practice. So I did tell him I was coming on yesterday, but I don't know if he said he's like, "Oh, I'm going to call in next time you're on." So I'm not sure if he's here, but yeah, great guy.
And then shout out to whoever you met at the Yankee game, who I apparently met at the Carly Olympics party that overheard you talking about me.
Yeah. Can't say Jake's name in public anymore without I was like, damn, I can't say the Jake Asman anymore in public. He's too big time.
Michael with a super chat for us. "Being outside Balto, I've seen a lot of Chuck Clark with the stupid Ravens. Agree with Fialkow 100%. I mean, let's not forget, when they got Chuck Clark, that was supposed to be a steal. The guy could play everywhere on the defense. He's versatile. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He's a good scheme fit. The only question with him is he the same guy coming off the ACL? But, he suffered his ACL injury in June of last year. He's been out there every day this summer. He's looked good. He's made plays. Like, I think Chuck Clark is an underrated player in this defense. I'm right there with both you guys who believe that.
Yeah. And like you said, he suffered the torn ACL like in June last year. So he's been a full go all camp. All camp, he's been a full go. He looks the part whenever I see him in like positional drills, team drills. So I think he's going to be a big part of the defense. Everyone's always down on the safety position. I feel like that's one spot on the defense where people who say, like, I guess the Hassan Reddick stuff. So I can't even mention that. But people are like, oh, the safety spot's not great. We have good depth at safety. Ashton Davis is a good player. He's definitively a good player, and he's not starting for us at safety. He'll maybe be in some like weird 3 safety sets if Ulbrich schemes that up. But we have Chuck Clark, we have Tony Adams, we have Ashton Davis. I'm very comfortable with our safeties. I think Key's going to make the roster as well, the kid we drafted from Alabama with the last pick. I think that rounds up a good secondary. Really, I've no worries about the secondary going through the year. We didn't even talk about JBC, who I think's had one of the best camps that you could possibly have and really positioned himself to be the next cornerback up if, per se, Sauce or DJ were to go down instead of Stiggers, in my opinion. I think JBC is fully ready. He's transitioned from safety to corner now. And, I mean, he's been awesome in the preseason games. So I'm very excited about the secondary, very excited about the defense overall. But, yeah, back to Chuck Clark. I think he's going to be a big impact player for us this year.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're talking with Andrew Fialkow of Jets X Factor, JetX. Make sure you guys follow Andrew on Twitter at @afialkow21. We got 357 of you watching live, only 174 likes. Let's get those likes over 200. We're going to get back to your calls right now before we say goodbye to Andrew. And ladies and gentlemen, with a brand new intro to bring on our next caller, we say hello to the Bobby Bunch.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby who will elevate his leg after the show. Sometimes Jake or Gator, they might join him.
But my friend Addison, he's always there.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby. He's the host of my favorite YouTube shows. My boss Craig and Nick, they make me happy. But Bobby is my only love.
And then one day when the show got so amazing, like a Zoom meeting with drunks and drugged out whores, somehow this group would somehow form a family. And that's the way we all became the Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. That's the way we became the Bobby Bunch. And now it's Bobby McKnight.
Andrew, how you like that one, Andrew?
I every time Gator somehow I can never get enough. I cannot believe Gator.
I know Gator's awesome, isn't he?
I mean, every time I'm like, oh, you can't do better than that, and then he just one-ups it every time. That's incredible.
Come on my show soon to see what it looks like.
Yeah. I will.
Anytime you want. Jake's invited anytime he wants to. Of course.
I don't want my butt on a stick, so I will.
No, you're not gonna have your butt on a stick. Don't worry. That's all squash with me and Matt O'Leary.
Okay, good. I'll
Only Matt O'Leary has his butt on his stick.
Well, you know, I need to find Matt O'Leary. He's supposed to come on my show. I want his butt on a stick. That's all said and done, Jake. It's done. Let's bury it. Let's bury it like a horse. Like a dog, okay? Let's bury it, Jake. Stop playing that. That's not the one I want anymore. That's over. Okay. How's your timing, Jake? You said 8 o'clock for today, which is 11 o'clock our time. You had the wrong time today. Jake, are you there?
I said 11 a.m. Eastern is when we were going to start.
Yeah, everybody was in the group before that time. They were way ahead of yours.
The time was set wrong briefly, but
Yeah.
I said on the show yesterday that
I know.
was
I
coming on
heard
at
it.
11 Eastern. There's no way I was going live at
5 o'clock.
There was no way I was going live at 8 a.m. Eastern.
5 o'clock in the morning.
I can't do this delay with Bobby right now. I'm laying out, Bobby. The floor is yours. I'm not saying anything.
5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I'm defending you, knucklehead. Hey, wasn't that I defending him?
Hang on one second. I'm getting a call.
Andrew, I was offending. Jake, I was defending you. I heard it in my ear that you said 11 o'clock, and people thought it was, I'm not saying a word. I'm out of it too. Second name. You and you. Las Vegas. Andrew, where are you? I need you. Who's a hi, dirty?
Hey, Bobby, what's going on, man?
I was defending Jake, and he puts me on full screen. I don't need full screen.
I think you had an echo on. I think your volume was a little high, so he was getting feedback, so he was getting an echo.
Well, I'll leave then. Okay, have a good day, Andrew. I'll see you later.
Well, it doesn't matter. No. You got to leave. Hey, I'll take over the show.
Andrew,
I'm here, Bobby. I'm here.
Am I echoing on your side?
No. Jake has like a small delay, he was saying, on his side.
Oh.
You're all
well,
good.
I was defending the guy, I was defending the guy.
Hey, Andrew, how you doing, bud?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Going well. You know who? I'll include you guys with this. I'm actually very excited to see Kinlaw and McKinley work together this year, and I do believe, in my opinion, that Leonard Taylor III is going to be. I think he's going to be on this team. I think he's going to be a good run stopper for us, to be honest. He fell in the draft pretty hard. So
yeah, he was a top recruit coming out of high school. Like they thought he was going to be a first round pick. There was some weight concerns or something that happened with Miami. He didn't play well last year, but I also hope he makes it. Like I was saying, I think that the defensive line depth is kind of tough unless we love Tanzel Smart or Jalen Holmes. I think there's definitely an area for Taylor to make the team.
Yeah, I think Smart always ends up being like a practice squad kind of guy. But he is good depth. If he gets called up, he always does the job. He does what he's supposed to do. I'm actually very excited. This is going to sound, we haven't really talked about this too much, or I haven't heard a lot of it, but I do believe that I think we're going to score more points on special teams than people think. Like this new rule, I think is actually going to go in favor with the kind of bulldozing people that we have. And, that gap from where we catch the ball inside the catch zone and from where they line up, you only got to kind of make one miss. And that's kind of, you have a really good zone of 30 yards before somebody catches up to you. So it's interesting, but, we'll figure it out as it goes, I guess.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have weird schemes and different ways to run that because I've been seeing that on Twitter. There's going to be a lot of different plays to run within that little area, like you said. But I think Gibson's going to be really good, and I think Corley is going to be really good as well in those areas.
Yeah. Bobby, who do you think's going to have a breakthrough season this year?
My friend Brandon Allen, right?
No, Braylon.
Brandon Allen's going to run over everybody down there Andrew.
You love Braylon Allen.
Yes, I do. And I'm talking about the Jets. Whoever I talk to the Jets. Watch the show more often. I talk about Knucklehead, who was in the chat. People have some nerve. They like typing in chat, but they don't come on the show. Oh, I better leave. Jake's having a thing. So I'll see you later, Andrew.
No, Bobby, you're good.
Jake's having an echo, right? Jake, you're echoing now? Are you echoing?
There's a delay, Bob.
Oh, well, I'll leave for you then, okay?
No. Yeah. It's everyone. It's not you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was defending you, Jake, I was saying. Because I heard 11 o'clock our time, not 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock your time. That will make it 8 o'clock in the morning your time.
Well, that's what time the show started.
No, it would have been 5 o'clock your time instead of 8 o'clock our time. That didn't make sense.
Yeah, correct. I was not doing a show at 5 a.m. Pacific time.
You were probably snoring at the time, right? At 5 o'clock.
Well, I was sleeping, so I don't know if I was snoring. I didn't watch myself sleep.
Sleeping, okay, sleeping. We don't know if anybody snores. I snore. Probably snore my head off all the time.
You're a snorer?
But, yes, I'm a snorer. Unfortunately, yes. Are you a snorer, Andrew?
Unless I'm like congested, no.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Andrew, you're always awesome as usual. Your takes are the best. You're a great kid. I'm
Bob,
on I could say.
This is the second time we got to talk this week because you joined the
I
comment.
know, right? I
Look
was
at us.
on what's his name show the other day.
Yep.
I was on what's his name? Kind of long.
Yep.
We were lucky. I'm lucky to have you twice a week. Are you happy to have me twice a week?
I'd love to have you every day of the week, Bob.
Me too. Me too. We're just cool, good dude. You should do your own show.
Yeah.
Andrew. I think you should do
Jake's show is like not my own show, but like that's like good enough for me.
Well, I want to be co-host on your show. I could be a co-hosting.
You know, Bob, maybe one day when you become big, me and you will co-host your show.
Yeah, well, I have a co-host. His name is Addison.
Okay.
Well, you can co-host one at a time. You come on anytime you feel like it, okay? Bobby Midnight, that's what it's called.
I'm subscribed. Bobby, I'm subscribed. Don't worry.
All right, you got to come. Come soon.
All right.
And see my show.
All right, we'll see you there, Bob.
I hope you have a great time in Las Vegas. When are you coming back? When are you coming back?
You got it. I'll see you later today, Bobby. I'll be on again.
When are you coming back?
Never. I live here now.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Never.
Okay, bye. Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Oh, man.
I'm Bob, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, Allison Tuckwab, a $100 super chat. Oh, my goodness. Let's go, Allison. Bang! Bang! You know what? Sound the alarm. Ladies and gentlemen, we salute Allison, who writes in. I was going to come on the mic and talk, but I chickened out. Allison, anytime you want to call in, we will move you right to the front of the line. Appreciate your support. I hope Aaron gets to play 1 and 2 games and gets to see him play with Garrick Wilson. Reminds me of his friend Adams, also wears 17. He likes the ball to him all the time. I'll tell you what. I hope Aaron plays way more than 1 or 2 games, Allison. I hope he plays 17 in the regular season and at least 3 or 4 in the playoffs. As far as Wilson, well, now he's number 5, but there's a lot of similarities between him and Devontae. Aaron's even made that comp. That's not just us saying it, as non-ball knowers. Like Aaron Rodgers has made that comparison going back to last year. So I can't wait to see it, Allison. Just like I can't wait to see you hopefully call into the show soon.
Hell of a super chat there.
Unreal. We call this a tuckwab bomb, folks. Allison, thanks for funding my blackjack after this broadcast. Anyway, Andrew, great job out of you. I appreciate hopping on this morning after yesterday, and great job, finding a way to get the Yankees a win last night. We appreciate your service.
Oh yeah, a great game, man. Soto and Judge are very fun to watch. So it was a good game.
I love it. Andrew, where could people find you one more time for those just tuning in?
Yeah. Once the season starts, I'll definitely be doing more article-based stuff for JetX. But you could go check all my work out at JetX Factor. And then right here, follow me on Twitter. I was at training camp yesterday, so I was doing a ton of live updates. But I'll be updating throughout the season. And obviously, you can find me on this show once a week. We'll be doing all the film reviews.
And one day he'll have a new headshot. We can't wait.
One day I got to go get one.
Tremendous. Andrew, great job, man. Thanks for having on.
All right, Jake. Talk to you.
Andrew Fialkow, check it in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We are presented today by my friends at Circa. That's why we're out here in Las Vegas. I'll be doing some shows this afternoon from the Radio Row. Check out circasports.com for all the info on how to sign up for either their Circa $1,000,006 Pro Football Pick Contest or the Circa Survivor. We will have an entry in the Circa Survivor. It's $1,000 to enter for a chance to win $10 million guaranteed in prizes. Cannot wait to be a part of it with all of you throughout the NFL season. Let's get back into your calls right now. But first, a super chat from John who says Bruce Hall and Garrett Wilson going to go off this year. Amen. Couldn't agree with you anymore. Big things are coming, baby. We love Bruce Hall. We love Garrett Wilson. Man, we love the lane train, baby.
Bruce Hall.
All right, more calls right now. We say hello to Prestige who checks in. Hello, Prestige.
Jake, it's been such a while since I last called in. How you been, man? You've been doing a great job covering the Jets all off season, and I gotta say, thank you for all the work that you do, man. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad to have you back. In the rotation of callers, Prestige. We missed you, man. I mean, no one else could call us outside MetLife quite like you.
Nah, nobody does it like me. Now, I'm not going to waste any time talking about the poverty-ass Giants. We know they suck. We know they're not on our level. I'm not even going to bother with the fans that just act like street trash. I'll leave it at that. I'm done with the Giants. I'm done with the fans. I cover them enough at school that they're irrelevant to me. What I'm on here to talk about is week 1. Hassan Reddick, no Hassan Reddick. We have a job to do. We got a mission all year long. But everybody's talking about how the Niners, the Jets don't have a chance against the Niners. Oh, the Niners are going to eat them up. The Niners got to play us too. They don't realize that. And we got the team that could beat the piss out of them. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but we can do it. We have our own identity. And what we need to bring this year is power, violence, and victory, because our fan base deserves it. And everybody crying on social media about what Sauce Gardner did yesterday, which, one, he didn't do anything wrong. I love Sauce Gardner. But here's where I start to lose it a bit. The disrespect with this team is just so through the roof. I can't handle it. I'm ready to see them win, and I'm ready to see them dominate. But now you see under my name, it says Jake Asman is our tribal chief. Now what we're going to do here on this stream is we are going to officially crown you as the tribal chief of the Jets fan base. Now, what I'm going to do in the live stream chat, I'm going to put a 1 in the chat. Chat, now I need the stream. Now, chat, listen to me. Put a 1 in the chat right now and say that you acknowledge Jake as your tribal chief. With that being said, I'll call back in soon before the season starts. Super Bowl this year. Calling it out, baby. Let's freaking go! Go Jets.
Prestige, I appreciate you. Is Roman Reigns no longer the tribal chief in wrestling? I vaguely know that storyline because my late cousin and my uncle love the wrestling, and my best friend is all in on it. But I'll take it. Tremendous. We love this fan base, Prestige. I'm glad to have you back, man. Getting the tailgate started early at Jet Life. Ah, man, hit the like button. Also, a great comment I saw from Allison to Bobby Midnight. Bobby, you're braver than I am going on the show that you are now. I am chicken. I didn't even get done. I didn't get a chance to get on there like you are. Allison, you're wonderful. And if you want to call in, we'll be happy to have you on the show. I know you've called in once or twice in the past, so we'll get you in there. Gator writes in, that's my favorite, worst, awesome, terrible moment from a caller. I'm not a wrestling guy, so I know it's wrestling related, that reference, but I'm the wrong guy. Sco says 1. Well, thank you, Sco. I think Bobby Midnight is our tribal chief, though. All right, more of your calls before we wrap. For those who have Sirius, I will be jumping on with Michelle Beadle and Cody Decker today at 2 p.m. Eastern, live on their show, talking Jets with them. So we'll have that coming. Let's get to more calls here. Let's say hello to LA Jet Dave, who's up next. What's up, LA Jet Dave? Nice hat.
Oh, man. Jake, how you doing, boss? Good to see you, bro.
Dave, what's going on, dude?
Long time, man. So great to see you. I'm so happy for your success and for your show and everything you're doing. Thank you so much on behalf of the community. We really appreciate it, man. It means a lot to us. And I just want to get something off my chest, brother, okay? I don't care if people are aphrodisiacs or if they're amnesiacs or animaniacs or even Hulkamaniacs, because around here, baby, we're Asmaniacs, dog. That's how we do it. Okay, let me start off with that. Okay.
Yeah, Dave, let's go.
Yes, sir, my man. And so I wanted to ask you, what's your trip? Are you're going to San Fran and you're going to the first few games, or what are you doing?
So I will not be in San Fran. I will be hosting a watch party at T Squared Social for that game. I'm going to officially announce that with the links pretty soon. About to sign the contract with T Squared hopefully later today. So I have that coming. We will be doing watch parties for a bunch of the road games there throughout the season. But my intention is to be in London for the Vikings game, and I will be in Miami for the Dolphins games. Those are the 2 road games I'm targeting.
I see. And so you'll be at the home opener then?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm actually I'm going to San Fran with prime time. Okay. And then second week, and second week going to Tennessee with the whole crew. You know, they got the tailgate thing going on there. And then I'll be at the home opener. I'm contemplating going to the 4th game. I've never done something crazy like this, 3 games in a row, like 3 opening games. So I'm super excited. You know, just watching One Jets Drive, watching your show, all the shows out there. Shout out to Let's Talk Jets Radio. You know what I'm saying? Just like, it's just really, really got me in a place that I believe now. I'm starting to believe. Everyone's starting to talk, and I'm based on the past. It's hard to get motivated, but now I'm seeing Sauce and Aaron and everything that's happening, and I can't tell you how pumped up I am. And I wanted to say something else to all these haters out there hoping that Rodgers gets hurt. To all these haters out there, these Patriots fans and all these fans that are talking shit, same old Jets and all that, wishing us to fall. Let me tell you something. To all these Mahomes fans and Brady fans and all you guys, we put the AFC on the map. Okay, we were the first to win an AFC Super Bowl championship and put this conference on the map. First 2 Super Bowls was Green Bay. We won the first Super Bowl for our side. If it wasn't for us, who knows what would have happened. So I'll tell you that much. Okay. And then basically, yeah, bro, I'm super pumped up. I'm super happy, bro. And there's something else I want to show you is if anyone's a Jets fan out there and has a dog out there and they ain't rocking one of these, then I don't know what's going on out there, baby. Yeah.
Dave, that is awesome, man. Thank you so much. That is so cool.
Yeah, of course, man. Jake, my man. Next time I see you, I'm going to get you another drink just like a Circa. I appreciate you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Dave, God bless, man. Great call. Great call. Love it. He's got the hat on. He's got the doggy bandana. That's tremendous. That's great. I got some pictures of my dog, family dog, Chloe, rocking the bandana. The only problem is she wasn't very cooperative, my mom said. But we tried. But it's in the Jake Asman merch store if you want one for your doggy. Great call there from LA Dave, who, as he says, that's right, he was at Circa with us at our event last year, the Raider game. I remember it well. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Get yourself some merch, jakeasman.com. Also, if you're not a Patreon subscriber, make sure you sign up before you buy merch because you'll save 15% on all items. And basically, you'll get Patreon for free for that month because it's only $5 to join the Patreon. Less than a cup of coffee, I might add. And you get 15% off on merch items. So you're going to save more than $5 if you buy a hoodie or a hat or a shirt or a coffee mug. So you're basically getting Patreon for free. So check it out, jakeasman.com/shop. Thanks to everyone who has purchased merch. We truly, truly appreciate it. All right. Hit the like button. Last chance to get in before we wrap up. We'll have a show this afternoon. We're going to have Cole Thompson joining us at 5 p.m. Eastern is the projected start time for that. But check the Discord for updates as I got some things I got to do before then. So that's all the projected time for right now. I will have some info on the watch parties, but I want everyone out there to know T Squared Social week 1 is confirmed. Confirming some other dates as well. If you can't make it to week 1, how about week 2 against the Titans? We gather for a 1:00 game. So a bunch of the road games this year we'll be doing as Maniac watch parties because of you guys making the first one last Saturday so successful. So thank you to everyone who came out and made it what it was to allow us more opportunities to bring this community together for games that actually count. Can't wait. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any comments here. I don't believe I did, but I have some good news for all of you. Before we end the show, we check in with one of our favorites who is no longer even on the line. Come on. The guy I was about to bring on is someone that the audience maybe doesn't like, but sometimes they need. I'll let the chat guess who called in. But unfortunately, this person is no longer there. Eric says, Jake, bet the Jets money line. I could tell you here at Circa because I checked it last night. I was watching the Yankee game in the sports book here, and I saw on the sports book odds board, the Jets are 5-point underdogs on Monday night to open the year. But I did see in some places it's down to 4.5. So that tells you the money is coming in on the Jets side. Couple reasons for this. One, Jets appear to be healthy going into the regular season. We knock on wood between now and the start. That remains the case. 2, the Niners right now do not have Brandon Ayuk practicing. Trent Williams is still holding out. Christian McCaffrey has a calf injury. He might play week 1. We still don't know. You combine all that together, folks, and it is fair to say not a lot of people, I think, are truly realizing the opportunity the Jets have to go into Monday night, go into the Bay Area, and win the damn game. All right? It's trending in the Jets' direction. I think that's fair to say. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this person has called back in. We say, for me, it's still the morning. Good morning to JJ. Hello, JJ.
What's going on? If you say anything, I won't be able to hear you because for some reason my headphones are acting up. But I wanted to call in real quick because I was at the practice against the Giants, and you guys, I didn't watch the show, so they probably already made this point, but the starting offense didn't get the full 75 plays. It was split between the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s and the 4s. So Aaron Rodgers probably played maybe only like 30 plays, if that, or maybe a little bit more. But the point being, I seen everything I needed to see. I'm satisfied. I no longer am on the he needs to play in the preseason. He got a lot of good reps in there. There was only one play that kind of disappointed me where he would have took a sack. He ended up throwing a touchdown to Breland Allen, but in a real life game, it would have been a sack. He looked a little old on that one play, but it was just literally one play. He tried to roll out of the pocket. He would have got sacked. He still ended up throwing a touchdown because, they don't call sacks in practice. But other than that, he looked really sharp. The offense looked good. So I'm okay if the starters don't play against the Giants. I think that Robert Saleh is starting to learn from his past mistakes, and I'm really happy to see that. I think the way he's coaching these guys now, it's a lot less lenient than he was in the past. I do believe it's a lot harder preseason than it was for them in the past. And the best thing about it is when you're at these practices, all you see is Robert Saleh just standing right in front of the offense, just watching every single thing they did. I mean, for the last couple of years that I went to those practices, I could never find Robert Saleh. He was always somewhere hidden with the defense, doing God knows what. He's literally just has his hands all over this offense. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but I mean, you're the head coach, so I love to just see that you said it the other day, if he goes out this year, he's going to go out on his terms, doing it his way. So I'm excited. I'm off the starters need to play in the preseason. I've seen enough. They worked them hard against the Giants, and I do want to say Alan Lazard is, oh my God, this guy dropped a wide open touchdown in the end zone. But then he proceeded to like score another touchdown later on in the game, and then he had like a big catch on a first down. He's weird. He's just so streaky. It's weird. Like he drops easy ones, but then he catches these weird contested ones and gets some yak. So I don't know what's going on with him, but thank God for Mike Williams, because Mike Williams is going to bring some consistency to the wide receiver room that we only are getting with Garrett Wilson. Xavier Gibson made a huge play, so that was cool to see, but I'm disappointed because Malachi Griffley, I haven't seen a lot of him yet, but hopefully we, I don't know, by midseason, I think Malachi is going to have a bigger role than he does now, because right now it looks like they're sticking with Xavier Gibson for that slot role. So that's pretty much my take.
JJ, I'm going to respond to your takes because I know you said you couldn't hear me, but great call. Positivity from JJ. He was starters half the play in the preseason, and now he's saying he's seen enough. You saw a great practice yesterday, JJ. You really did. Once again, I got a text from someone who has been around the Jets for a very long time and said yesterday was the best he has seen the Jets look at a practice offensively since 2010. That's what this person wrote. Strong. So they got their work in. There's no doubt. Will the strategy pay off? I mean, how do they look at the beginning of the year, right? They increased the reps all summer. The plan was to not play the starters. We're only going to be able to determine if Saleh made the right move based on how they come out and play at the beginning of the season. That's it. How do they look? Either they come out fast and look good or they don't. And that's how we judge it. But I'll say this. I think part of the reason why they increased the workload is you play 3 games in 11 days to start the season. You got Monday night, and then a short week. You play Sunday against the Titans, and then short week you play Thursday against the Pats. They have to be 2-1 through the first 3 weeks. Now, if they 3-0, am I going to be stunned? No, I think they can win week 1. The closer we get to the Niners game, the better I actually feel about it, because I'm confident in how the Jets have looked this summer. Rodgers looks all the way back. And the Niners are dealing with a lot of issues right now. I feel like it's being under-discussed. Ayuk is not out there right now. Trent Williams is not out there right now. McCaffrey is not out there right now. We sure Brock Purdy's good enough to win games when he doesn't have an all-pro left tackle, all-pro level wide receiver, the best maybe pure playmaker in the sport in McCaffrey. Like, the Jets can win week 1. Greenlaw out for the season for the Niners. Like, they have a lot of problems. And I'm sorry, advantage Jets at quarterback. I'll say it. I'm in on Aaron Rodgers, man. I'm in. Ladies and gentlemen, we were going to end the show, but this guy just called in at the buzzer here. He hasn't called in a while. We say hello to Indy Jets. What's up, Indy?
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
Indy, well, you tell me, man.
Monday can't get here soon enough. It just can't. It needs to be today. I just can't take it anymore. I want to say, though, that from watching film, here's what Aaron Rodgers has done to these wide receivers compared to watching film from last year. And I coached cornerbacks through high school and in college. And you're taught as a cornerback, you when the receiver moves their hands, that's when you turn your head and you look. And with Zach Wilson throwing the ball, they just threw their hands up. I mean, it just was terrible. And if you watch the film of these practices, these receivers don't even move their hands off their chest. And I feel sorry for the cornerbacks right now. I mean, as good as Sauce is and as good as everybody is, Rodgers, I mean, he just puts that ball right where these guys need it without even any effort. And that is something we have not seen in a very, very long time. I mean, you will have to go back to Testaverde days before we see anything that I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that much of a difference, but I just believe that that's the change in this whole chemistry of this team. Little things like that. just something I'd noticed over the last couple of weeks, and I'd noticed last year, and it drove me insane. I thought the cornerbacks could just eat all day off of our wide receivers because of because of Zach. But Aaron has just what he can do and what he's done. It's really a noticeable thing. That's all I wanted to say. Appreciate your show, guys.
Andy, appreciate you, man. Great call. Great to hear from you. Hopefully you call back a lot more this year as the wins start to happen for this team. I mean, you're 1,000% right. I mean, look at this throw here. First up, the pocket's amazing. Tyron just body bagging Brian Burns is awesome. But, like, can you make a better throw? I mean, this ball is 70 yards in the air when Rodgers unleashes it. Look at this. Like, as long as the arm still works. Like, he's throwing this from the Jet 35-yard line. And look where Garrett catches it in stride. He catches it at the 10. That's a 70-yard throw. I mean, this guy is still one of the best in the league. His arm works. His mind works. He just needs a little time, and he's going to make plays. That's all Aaron Rodgers needs to be great. He just needs a little time. And I think he'll have a lot of time. Look at his pocket. He's got the weapons, man. Look, if you're ranking the most indispensable Jets, I think Aaron's one. I think Garrett's two. Because I think if he's healthy, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's going to be on the All-Pro team this year. Tom A says, that throw got me 6 to midnight. I get it, Tom. I'm not even going to say calm your freaky down. In fact, don't calm it down. We're all ready, man. We deserve a year where the Jets are one of the better offensive teams in the league. It's time, man. It is time. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. We're back this afternoon. Cole Thompson will join us. I might have other special guests that will pop in to talk some Jets or talk some football. So there might be a Jake Asman football show you see on the channel a little bit later. I appreciate everyone for your support, man. Awesome to be out in Vegas, signing up for the Circa contest. Thanks to Circa for sending me out here for the second year in a row. Jake Asman and Circa. A match made in heaven, folks. Circasports.com for all the information on how you could sign up for either the Circa Million contest or the Circa Survivor. We will have an entry in the Circa Survivor. So each week, I'm going to need your guys' opinions. Who we taking? Because I'm trying to win money, all right? I'm trying to win $10 million, and I need your help to get it done. Thank you all for your support. Truly mean it. Everyone who sent in a super chat, the great Allison Tuckwab with a $100 spot, big time from Allison. So thanks to everyone who tuned in this morning, or I guess it's the afternoon now on the East Coast. Thank you to Fialkow for doing what he did, coming on, breaking down some film, all that good stuff and more. I will talk to you guys later this afternoon. Reminder, Best of the Jake Asman Show. Episode 6 is available for everybody to tune in and watch. So enjoy that if you haven't already. JETS, 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 Jets. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hit it, Bijan.
Let's go, baby.